Would Constantine follow through? Caleb should have let the matter go at that point. After all, loving a poor excuse for a dog wasn't the worst thing his brother could have done during Caleb's absence. At least he didn't fuck up like I did. But the fact that Caleb ranked lower than a pet stung. It's a dog. Shouldn't it ride in the back? No. And unless you'd rather walk, I'd suggest you get your ass on board. I've got better things to do than hang around here arguing with an a-hole. Caleb's spine straightened, and he faced his brother, unable to hide the flatness in his eyes. That wasn't very nice. Neither was what you did. That stung, even if it was true. I had my reasons, and I have mine, so choose. Nice choice. Either tell his brother to fuck off and find his own ride, which would really set a tone. Beat the piss out of him and remind him that he was still the oldest, or let his brother enjoy his petty revenge. Doing the right thing really wasn't any fun. I came back to make amends, not make things worse. So Caleb rode in the back while Princess got the passenger seat, perched pleased as Punch in her basket that hung off straps wrapped around the headrest. When Caleb asked what the heck that was, Constantine replied, "It's a booster for Princess, so she can see out the window. My brother's dog has a car seat." Meanwhile, Caleb didn't, but at least he had a ride. Plus, on the bonus side, he and his brother had not yet come to blows, although it had been close. I expect before the week is out, we'll exchange a few punches. Constantine harbored a lot of anger and resentment. When Caleb had left home, his brother was just finishing high school, and given there were a few years between them, they hadn't really hung out much. It hadn't occurred to Caleb that the skinny runt, who'd packed on a good 100 pounds and a few inches since then, would resent his departure so much. If sitting in the back of Constantine's truck was part of Caleb's punishment, then so be it. It wouldn't be the worst ride Caleb had ever gotten. At least this one didn't have gritty sand stinging at his eyes, or snipers taking pot shots. As a matter of fact, he quite enjoyed the view and humid air until they hit the highway, whereupon Constantine made sure he hit the gas pedal hard. The truck shot forward with a burst of speed. No problem. Caleb leaned against the cab of the truck and crossed his arms. He could handle a little wind. The rut in the road, however, almost sent him flying out of the bed of the pickup truck. He landed hard on his ass and couldn't help his irritation. "Bloody hell, Constantine!" Caleb banged on the window partition on the cab. "Take it fucking easy, would you?" To which his little brother, who at 280 pounds of mean muscle outweighed him, replied with an eloquent middle finger. A laugh shook Caleb, a rusty sound that took him by surprise. It had been a while since he'd found something worth chuckling about. It's good to be home. Coming home, to be specific, the prodigal son who'd strutted off to war, brash and full of himself, and now returned, a wounded veteran who is getting no goddamned respect, he yelled as his brother plowed the truck through a puddle on the shoulder, on purpose. Little bastard. He smiled. The muddy water coating his skin and worn t-shirt couldn't diminish his contentment. Even out here, still practically in the city, the smells of the swamp surrounded him. Moist and thick, the humidity in the air revived him. Since his departure from home, Caleb had spent years serving his country overseas in barren wastelands, where the gritty sand got in everything, and the heat sucked the moisture from your skin, leaving it tougher than a croc's hide. But he'd left the desert behind months ago, spent some time up north in Alaska, a shifter-friendly town known as Bitten Point, as a matter of fact. While hiding out there, he'd scrubbed and scrubbed at his skin until he could pretend the stink of smoke and burning flesh didn't cling to him. Some stains never came out, but they faded to the point